Radishes are such an easy crop to grow, and here's the thing, they love to grow in the cold, and that means spring and fall. They don't grow well in the heat. They are pithy, they're spicy, and so first thing in spring, when you plant your peas, plant your spinach, plant your radishes too. And here, early spring, we have planted these beautiful radishes. We plant them about one seed every ½ inch. So about 24, 25 seeds per foot, which is pretty dense. And you can see actually these, and we also love to thin them. We love baby radish greens. So you can see this little section we haven't thinned yet. The rest we thinned. But this is the perfect stage, friends, to thin them because take a look. They have their cotyledons, which in brassicas, they always have those lovely little lobes. So the cotyledons are wide, those solar arrays photosynthesizing tons of sugars for your lovely little radish plant, and here are those first true leaves that have just emerged. And so once those first true leaves are just emerging, this is the ideal time to be thinning your radishes. If you wait too much longer, they're going to be out competing each other for both sunlight above the ground and nutrients, water below the ground. So if you don't thin them in time, they absolutely won't have great, they'll have really poor root development. So be sure to be on your timing of your thinnings, whether it's carrots, radishes, beets, turnips, anything that you're thinning. This is the critical stage. So I'm going to go in and continue to thin these out to 1 per inch, and know that that's particularly because you can almost see these are the d'Avignon style radishes, the French breakfast, the icicle type, and those go longer, faster, and they also won't get as wide as like the cherry bell, the round red radish types. And so those you want to give another 1.5 inches, sometimes even 2 inches if you want them to get nice and full size. But since these are only going to be nice and narrow and they're going to grow down, the d'Avignons are awesome to grow even more densely. So I'm barely thinning them to 1 per inch. And I also love baby radishes, and I love baby beets. Honestly, baby carrots don't have the fullest flavor, where a baby beet will totally have full beet flavor. So a lot of the roots, I love to harvest them when they're nice and really young. So that way I'm thinning them several times and eating them as I go. And that really maximizes your harvest of them as well. Keep in mind that radishes are sometimes hot, and heat in radishes is not genetic. It is purely cultural. And so that means you can't get a radish that isn't spicy. But you can make it less spicy. And a spicy radish is a stressed radish, and a stressed radish hasn't slept well from the night before, didn't get 3 good meals the day before. Maybe those things aren't true, but these things are true. Radishes don't like to be dry, and they don't like the heat. And so if you want sweeter radishes, make sure they have plenty of water, and make sure that you're truly growing them in a cool season. And don't be surprised as soon as the days are into the 80s, those radishes are going to get spicy. And after 3 weeks, they're going to get pithy as well. Sometimes you may have seen radishes that instead of being that crisp, uniform, crunchy, they start to get a little spongy, and sometimes a little woody, maybe a little fibrous. And so it's really important. 3 weeks from planting, you've got ideal radishes. Maybe you've got another week or 2 if it's a really, really cool fall or really long, cool spring, but think of them as a very short season crop, with the exception of watermelon radishes. Watermelon radishes are full size. Think of them as a baseball, even a softball size, and they take 5-6 weeks to mature, and they're only a fall radish. Because even if we plant them first thing in the spring, they'll be maturing into the heat of the summer. And so they're inevitably just spicy and pithy when grown in spring, with very few exceptions. Where if you sow them in August, all of a sudden they're maturing into the cold and even getting frosts, which just makes them that much more sweet.